Hi everyone and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Chanel. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read for you again. So this reading is intended for earth signs. I'm going to be taking a look at you and your person's energy. My love readings nowadays are a little more focused on you, just for the simple fact that I understand you can only be responsible for yourself, right? So it's kind of good to get an idea of what's going on pertaining to you. I wanted to do a relationship reading so that you're able to get a feel for your person's energy as well. Perhaps next time around I'll do these by signs, but I will be releasing the bi-weekly love reads in the next few days, so I need time to get those together. If you're watching for Capricorn, reverse the roles. It'll probably feel like I'm speaking to you about your Capricorn. And if you're in need of any of the other readings that have come out this month, twin flame, spirit messages, I'll put the links to those in the description box. So as I'm looking at the energy for you earth signs, you're coming through with the devil in the reverse. So you could be a Capricorn who has decided to leave this situation. But there's also an energy of you no longer wanting to be in a situation where it seems like there's this toxic element to it. Your person, I feel like, is struggling, and I'm not sure how they're handling this struggle. It kind of feels like this person could have either experienced a series of bad luck, so they're confused. For others of you, this person could struggle with their demons, is kind of what this is looking like to me. And so this person, it's like what they've brought into your life. This is literally the energy of everything in your life being fine except for your relationship with this person. And I feel like whatever they bring into your life, it actually sets you back. So I don't want to say you're giving up on this, but it's almost like you're leaving this person to their own devices, because you've tried really hard to maybe make this person see the good in themselves. There's an energy of this person. It's like they just feel like they're a walking disaster, where things never go right for themselves. And I feel like in the beginning, this may have been something where you were like, hey, you just need to shift your perspective. Like, you're a really great person, or you could totally have a better life. You're so smart, right? I feel like this person is kind of a bottomless pit in a lot of ways, because you've tried so hard to show this person different avenues that they could take, or different ways that they could view the situation. And they're so stuck in whatever this is, where it's just like, they're never going to see it until they choose to see it about themselves. For some of you, this isn't even so much building this person up as it is being like, you have a problem and you need to figure it out. It's affecting me, right? I think what's frustrating here is that this person has a lot of untapped potential if they could only be consistent in their life. This person, it's like they struggle with discipline. This is also somebody who has a tendency to, it's like they do the same thing over and over, but then they act surprised when they get the same results. And I feel like for you, in the beginning, before you knew that about this person, you were probably like, oh, because I'm on the outside looking in, it's super easy for me to be able to like give you good advice. I feel like if you do this, this is going to happen. And so it's almost like this person says, oh, okay. And then they don't take your advice and they do whatever it is that they're doing, and they get some really bad result. And then they come back to you and they are like, hey, so this happened. And you start looking at them and you're kind of like, okay, I feel like we already had this conversation. I feel like I already told you what you should do. I feel like you did the complete opposite. And this has happened enough times that you're getting into a space with this person where you're like, you must like the way you're living because you have control over your life, but you're choosing not to change what you're doing. I think you've started to look at this person as wanting to be a failure or wanting to keep things in their life to make it so that they're the victim in their situations. And for you, I feel like you're very accountable in your own life. Like, you don't have a problem with looking at the role that you've played in situations. If anything, you feel like that's what gives you personal power because it allows you to see what you contributed and how you got where you are, right? It's like you prefer to be accountable for your actions because in that you understand that you have the power to change things and get different outcomes. Whereas this person, it's like they don't want to see the role that they play in things. And they actually prefer to keep putting themselves in these types of situations that the outcome is like they're the victim. Life is hard, right? This is kind of difficult because I feel like at this time you've gotten into a space where you want to let this person fall flat on their face. You know, I think that you are very good at knowing what you bring to the table, and you're very good at being able to gauge if something is worth your time. I feel like you really care about this person, and so you were willing to overlook some of the red flags that I feel like you saw. Because you were looking at this person like maybe they just don't know how great they are. Maybe they're just down on their luck. But now you're seeing that this person, it's like, for some of you, you're kind of wondering if something's wrong with them. Because they just don't see what's so obvious. That's the way you view this, is like, it's so simple. Like, if you would finish your degree, you'd have a good job, but you keep putting off your next semester. Or if you would just go to rehab and get clean, you would have a great life because you already, are an engineer and you can make $100K a year, right? Like, for you, you look at this person as their promise being so simple, and you look at it like the only obstacle in your life is you. This person does not see it that way. They feel like everything is everyone else's fault. Okay. What this is creating is the King of Cups, which is very interesting because I feel like there's going to be quite a process to get you both into this energy, right? What you don't see that Spirit is doing in your relationship is the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So I feel like for you, you're supposed to be not putting the work into this at this time. So if you've followed your intuition to remove yourself from the situation, that's exactly right. That's exactly what I feel like Spirit is wanting from you. For this person, they need to understand the role they play in their own life. It could have even gotten into a space where they started blaming you for things that they were doing. And this is because they were pissed off at themselves for not following your advice. So instead of being like, hey, my earth sign gave me really stable, good advice, and I didn't follow it, and that was my choice. This could be someone who gets in the space of being like, you always think you know the right thing to do. You don't know about me. You don't know about my circumstances. This is someone who I feel like projects. And so the Spirit is taking you out of the equation because, first of all, this person needs to stop blaming you for what they're doing. Second of all, this person needs to look at what they have based on what they've done in their life. I feel like you came into this person's life as kind of a guide almost, right? To tell them like, hey, you know, this is super simple. If you just did XYZ, you wouldn't be in this situation. It's very practical, but something about your practicality triggered this person to the point that now the universe is like, okay, maybe you're not ready to receive this message that this earth sign had to give you. Because I see that you're actually abusing this gift that we brought to you, right? And you're actually putting this person in situations that they really have no business being in. They're only there because they love you, right? So you're being asked to do something else for the time being because this person needs to really take a long look at what they've been trying to avoid, which is why they keep themselves stuck, why they keep giving to situations that they know are not going to work, right? It's like this person wants to be sad. They want to be a failure. They want to be a victim, right? And the universe, it's like they try to bring you in to shake this person up, to get out of this mentality, you know, and it's not working. Your advice is not working. So I feel as though you're being asked to leave this situation, stop putting work into this, because this person needs to have their pity party on their own, okay? It's not for you to be attending this at this time based on the fact that it's only going to keep perpetuating the cycle. It's like, as long as this person has someone to tell that they're a victim, as long as this person has someone to complain to, they will continue to create situations where they're a victim or situations that give them something to complain about. You may notice that people stop dealing with this person and suddenly they are very much alone. There's a reason for that, right? People get tired of hearing about the same problems over and over. People get tired of watching somebody put themselves in the same situations over and over and then acting brand new to the consequences. So you may find through whether you're like social media friends or you have a friend group that's similar, that this person is starting to post things like, oh, I'm by myself. I'm so alone, right? There's a reason for that. In the 3D, it's because people are sick of them. You know, their victim mentality. In the 5D, it's because spirit needs this person to be alone, so that they have no one to turn to and they have to start talking to themselves about their life. Why am I alone? Why do I feel like a failure? Why does it seem like I'm always sad when everybody around me is always happy? Right? This is an interesting person because it's like they look for answers within all of the people around them. But then when they get the answer, they just do the opposite. They do what keeps them where they are. Why is that? I can look into that because that's kind of weird. What I'm seeing, the bridging energy, like what's being created between the two of you as is the King of Cups. I feel like there's a few things with this. For you, it seems like you're getting into a space of feeling like you've gone as far as you can go loving this person. Right? It's like, okay, I've given everything that I possibly have. I know that there is nothing that I could have done better in this situation. I can close this out in my life and I can see what the lesson was here for me. And I'm comfortable with the idea of releasing this. Like, it's not the end result that I wanted, but I also feel like at this time, there's just not a whole lot that I can do about this, right? For your person, they're actually getting into a space where they've been alone. So I think you've been gone for a minute, and I think other people are starting to leave. And they're having to really think about their life. They're thinking about what they've done. They're thinking about what they've gotten. Where are they, right? This person is pretty miserable, you know, and their thoughts are returning to all the good advice that you gave to them, that perhaps in the moment, you know, they were too blind with their, you know, victim mentality to see, right? I feel like this person may also be getting into a space where they're starting to apply some of the things that you tried to talk to them about. And they could be starting to notice results, right? Or starting to notice a shift. Now, I don't think this is a huge change at this time. You know what I mean? I think this person is flirting with the idea of like, well, what's the worst that could happen if I started doing something a little bit different, right? Which I feel like is exactly what Spirit has wanted for this person. So what's interesting to me is that you were brought in to kind of be this catalyst, but it feels like the situation isn't going to move until this person is no longer there to turn to you, right? Because then they have to turn to all of the advice that you've given them that they have inside. It's kind of like the energy of like when you talk to your children and they live with you, they don't really listen, right? Or they keep making the same mistakes over and over. But then when they get out in the world, they have to like open that Rolodex of great adulting advice, you know, that you gave them. And they're like, oh man, what did my dad say to do in this situation? What did my mom say to do in this situation? Right? So kind of interesting energy. You know, I feel like you're definitely a guide to this person, you know. I'm going to take this over to the extended reading because I'm super curious to know what will bring you both into this King of Cups energy that's being created. You know, I see that you're kind of wrapping this up. I see that this person is doing a lot of thinking. I'd like to take a look at what that will create for your relationship, because I do see you getting something that you want. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of cards about like after a waiting period, the possibility of a renewal. But I'm also seeing the possibility of new love. But either way, it looks like there's a soulmate for you earth signs. It looks like something that you very much want is coming into your life. And there is a possibility of a very stable and fulfilling commitment. So I'm going to look into how you're getting there, what's going on that you may not know, right? Because if you're not talking to this person, you don't know, right? So if you would like to find out more about that, link is in the description box below. I will see you on the other side. And then the bi-weekly love readings, oh my goodness, those will be out in the next few days. So just stay posted for that. All right. Thank you. Bye.